A Lookout in Time by Steve Enks, Belmont North 2280. Narrated by David Tredinnick. Now in my early 70s, what made me a human that seeks to understand the human condition? Memory enables us to mark the passage of time in our lives, but also can anchor our worldviews for short or long periods. Hindsight can alter perception of the world at any future time. So, to understand what made me see the world as of now, it is necessary to explore the narrative of a life. Not heroic or dramatic, just is as it happened, and a glimpse behind these eyes. I am sure that many others my age will have some shared memory of such a life. Born in 1951, Australia, urban city life, early, but not with my biological family. I was a part of a nurture family of older parents, battlers, limited education opportunities, single labourer's wage based on a physically tough steelworks workplace. We also lived near a coal gasworks in a rented house. Life for adults then was one of relentless domestic and industrial toil. I remember fondly it was a loving, safe household with a very decent extended family from country towns. Early memories include listening to radio, playing in the single-child world of imagination, music, and jaunty jingles of radio ads. There was the heat of the street pavement, cold winter winds outside, gazing into the ornate hearth of the coke fire inside, the smell of the gas-heated copper, and the stick used to manipulate the steaming laundry items. Not many cars, but still the clip-clop of horse-drawn carts for bread, greengrocer, the fruito, the iceman, and the milko. Most small kids lived in simple backyards and explored the local neighbourhood, the local drains, or train tracks. Then you were a child in an adult world, seen and not heard, as they used to say. No play school or play group. At age 4-ish, we were thrust through the local school gate without much explanation or any introduction to classmates. Still, there was no steel fencing, weapon sensing, or anti-terrorist measures. Only the comfort of Vegemite and Kraft cheese, white bread triangles. At the time, we did not realise that life existed without aircon, backyard pools, and power mowers, although the age of Victor was imminent. A big life-changing event for my parents was to move to the far-flung reaches of distant suburbs for my respiratory health. A bush block subdivision with gravel roads, a pan-service sewer and outhouse, long walks to bus stops on the Pacific Highway. My mother never drove and regularly walked or bussed to shops 3 or 4 kilometres away to carry home the brown bags of groceries. We lived opposite a coal mine, and, to be more specific, the horse paddock for the pit horses, but steam power was still in use in the first years. For them it was a large debt for a weatherboard box at relatively late in life, but it was a home, with chooks, rabbits, birds, and a goat. Inside it was immaculate, and fly dirt was never to be seen. Like most people born in small country villages, they were ultra-practical, decent and proud. In the late 50s, home life was transformed by the little box on legs in the lounge room. A black and white world of grainy images without remote control. It was the hub of family life after dark, but not after midnight. Every meal was home-cooked, not a seafood family, and at the table with larger Sunday roast for the working man. Afternoons and weekends for an only child in the early 60s was free range, roam at will in the mine sites, paddocks, swamps, sand dunes, bushland creeks and lake edges. No money, no shoes, no watch, only gnawing hunger and the toot of the 5 o'clock passenger train. Later there was a Malvern Star fixed-wheel bike to explore further from home. Then into high school, 1964. A growing awareness of the world, first through books, and still to this day, then the TV box. News bulletins brought us information of Middle East crises, presidential assassinations, the folly of politics, the madness of mutually assured nuclear destruction, the Vietnam War, and the state of the royal corgis. Generally a great time for kids, suspended on the newfangled hills hoists. An only child could wander around, build cubbies in the swamp, Meccano machines, or just lay around outside and read to fire the curiosity and imagination. There was some sport or the Scouts, but no one really trained that much. Then TV time late afternoon. The mid-60s brought family setbacks. Dad became an invalid. Poverty beckoned, and struggle against indifference and bureaucratic tyranny of welfare systems. But there was joy and thanks for the Smith family Christmas hamper. I walked to school each day via the mine paddock and the Chitta Road through the swamp. I worked at Woolies on Saturday, closed at noon, and many nights as summoned by telegram. With great luck, I got bursaries and scholarships to stay at school. Dad passed away before the moon landing. Then uni by scholarship and BHP traineeship and part-time study. Then job as an engineer in the old heavy industries. Disposable income at last, but not debt-free yet. Car, girlfriend, beers were distractions during a late growing up. My family? Separation. Books again, but the joy of parenting and working against a more ruthless, less egalitarian 80s and beyond. Witness to the beauty of human imagination, but also the endless cycles of czars, emperors, psychopaths, and the loss of critical thinking across the board. Human history is repeatedly depressing, but I cling to the optimism of hope that the common good will get its turn and a new generation can break the cycle. As with others of this age, these events made me, so far, and still a work in progress. The end.